Unbelievable news for millions of Americans on Social Security, SSDI, SSI, and VA benefits. A brand new update confirms that payments are set to rise, and some recipients could see as much as $4,442 in extra benefits. That's right, more money in your pocket at a time when every single dollar matters. If you're a retiree, on disability, or a veteran relying on these programs, this is a change you cannot afford to ignore. In today's video, we're breaking down exactly how much the increase is, who qualifies for the boost, and when you can expect to see it in your account. Plus, we'll cover what this means for future checks and whether more benefit increases could be on the way. Stay tuned until the end so you don't miss a single detail about this massive Social Security pay raise. The news that's sending shockwaves through the benefits community is nothing short of revolutionary. We're looking at a historic increase that's going to affect millions of Americans who depend on Social Security, SSDI, SSI, and VA benefits. But here's what makes this particularly interesting: it's not just a simple increase, it's a carefully calculated adjustment that takes into account several economic factors that I'll break down for you today. You might be wondering, why such a significant increase now? Well, that's exactly what I asked myself when I first saw these numbers. The answer lies in the perfect storm of economic conditions that have created this unprecedented situation. We're seeing inflation rates that have pushed the cost of living to new heights, and the Social Security Administration has responded with one of the most substantial adjustments in recent history. Let's talk about what this means for you specifically. If you're receiving Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI, SSI, or VA benefits, you're probably familiar with the annual cost of living adjustment, or COLA. But this year's adjustment is different. It's not just keeping pace with inflation, it's actually giving beneficiaries a chance to get ahead. Think about what an extra $4,442 could mean for your annual budget. That's not just spare change, that's real money that could make a significant difference in your quality of life. But here's something many people don't realize: the increase isn't just a flat rate applied across the board. The actual amount you'll receive depends on several factors, including your current benefit amount, your benefit type, and when you started receiving benefits. This is where things get interesting, and it's crucial to understand how these calculations work to ensure you're getting every dollar you're entitled to. Let's break down the numbers for different benefit categories. For traditional Social Security retirement benefits, the increase will be calculated based on your primary insurance amount. But what about SSDI recipients? Your increase will be determined differently, and I'm going to explain exactly how this works. And if you're receiving SSI or VA benefits, there are specific calculations that apply to your situation as well. Here's a question many of you have been asking: when will these increases take effect? The timing is crucial, and I've got the inside scoop on exactly when you can expect to see these changes reflected in your monthly payments. But more importantly, I'm going to share some strategies to help you make the most of this increase once it hits your account. One of the most exciting aspects of this increase is how it compounds over time. We're not just talking about a one-time boost. This adjustment becomes part of your base benefit amount, meaning future increases will be calculated on top of this new, higher amount. It's like getting a raise on top of a raise, and the long-term implications are significant for your financial security. But here's something that's been keeping me up at night: many beneficiaries might miss out on maximizing this increase simply because they don't understand how to optimize their benefits. That's why I'm going to share some little-known tips that could help you get the most out of this adjustment. These are strategies that most financial advisors won't tell you about, but they could make a real difference in your bottom line. Let's talk about the SSI recipients for a moment. The increase for SSI benefits is particularly noteworthy because it could affect other benefits and income calculations. If you're receiving SSI, you need to understand how this increase might impact your eligibility for other assistance programs. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to know to maintain your benefits while taking full advantage of this increase. For our SSDI recipients, there's some particularly good news. The Substantial Gainful Activity (SGA) threshold is also being adjusted, which means you might have more flexibility in terms of working while maintaining your benefits. This is a game changer for many people who want to supplement their income without risking their benefits. Veterans receiving VA benefits, listen up, because this affects you too. The VA benefit increase is designed to work in harmony with other federal benefits you might be receiving. Understanding how these different benefits interact is crucial for maximizing your total income, and I'm going to explain exactly how to navigate this complex system. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. I get it, I was skeptical too when I first heard about these numbers. But I've done the research, verified the sources, and I can tell you with confidence that this increase is real. However, there are some important caveats and conditions you need to be aware of, and I'm going to cover all of them. Here's a question that's been flooding my comment section: do I need to do anything to receive this increase? The answer might surprise you. While the increase is automatic for most beneficiaries, there are certain situations where you might need to take action to ensure you receive the full amount you're entitled to. I'll explain exactly what steps you need to take, if any, to secure your increase. Let's talk about timing for a moment. The rollout of these increases isn't happening all at once, it's being implemented in phases. Your birth date, type of benefit, and other factors will determine exactly when you'll see the increase reflected in your payments. I'm going to give you a detailed timeline so you can plan accordingly. One aspect that's particularly exciting is how this increase affects different age groups differently. If you're just starting to receive benefits, or if you're planning to start soon, this increase could have a significant impact on your long-term benefit calculations. I'll explain how the timing of when you start receiving benefits could affect your total increase amount. But here's something crucial that many people overlook: the tax implications of this increase. Depending on your total income and other factors, this larger benefit amount might affect your tax situation. Don't worry, though, I'm going to explain exactly what you need to know to avoid any surprises when tax season rolls around. For those of you receiving multiple types of benefits, pay close attention, because the way these increases interact with each other is complex but important to understand. I'll break down how the increases apply to different benefit combinations and what you need to know to ensure you're getting the maximum amount you're entitled to. Let's address another common question: will this increase affect my Medicare premiums? This is a crucial consideration, as changes in benefit amounts can impact other aspects of your benefits package. I'll explain exactly how these changes interact with Medicare and what you can expect in terms of your total take-home amount. Here's something that many people don't realize: this increase could affect your eligibility for other assistance programs. If you're receiving food stamps, housing assistance, or other income-based benefits, you'll need to understand how this increase might impact those programs. I'll explain what you need to know and what steps you might need to take to maintain your benefits. For those of you who are caregivers or representatives for benefit recipients, this information is particularly important. The increase affects not just individual beneficiaries but also family maximum benefit calculations. I'll explain what this means for families receiving benefits and how to ensure everyone in your household gets the maximum amount they're entitled to. Now, let's talk about some strategic planning. This increase presents an opportunity to reassess your financial situation and make some smart decisions about your future. I'm going to share some practical tips on how to make the most of this extra money, whether it's paying down debt, building an emergency fund, or investing for the future. One aspect that's particularly important is understanding how this increase affects different regions differently. The cost of living varies significantly across the country, and this increase might have different implications depending on where you live. I'll explain how to factor this into your financial planning. Here's a crucial point that often gets overlooked: the impact of this increase on long-term care planning. If you're receiving benefits and planning for potential long-term care needs, this increase could affect your options and strategies. I'll explain what you need to consider and how to plan accordingly. But what about future increases? While this current increase is significant, it's also important to understand how future adjustments might be calculated. I'll explain what factors influence these calculations and what you might be able to expect in the coming years. For those of you who are still working while receiving benefits, this increase could affect your earnings limit and benefit calculations. I'll explain exactly how to navigate this situation to maximize your total income while staying within the program guidelines. Let's talk about advocacy and staying informed. These benefit increases don't happen in a vacuum, they're the result of policy decisions and economic factors. I'll explain how to stay informed about future changes and how to advocate for your interests as a benefit recipient. Now, here's something practical that everyone needs to know: how to verify that you're receiving the correct increase amount. I'll share some tips on how to check your benefit statements and what to do if you think there might be an error in your increase calculation. For those of you who are helping family members navigate these changes, I'll explain how to ensure they're getting all the benefits they're entitled to and how to help them manage this increase effectively. This is particularly important for those caring for elderly parents or disabled family members. This historic increase in Social Security benefits represents a significant opportunity for millions of Americans. By understanding how these changes affect you specifically and taking the right steps to maximize your benefits, you can make the most of this additional income. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to managing your benefits effectively. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to hit that like button and share this video with anyone who might benefit from this information. Subscribe to our channel for more updates on benefit changes and financial strategies. And remember to drop a yes in the comments if you want to stay updated on future benefit changes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.